George, no one likes to take victory laps more than me when I'm right, but I also must admit defeat when I am wrong. We have to start with the Broncos and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos win 22-19. What were your thoughts on this game before I give my thoughts?
Broncos know how to win close games, and they've finally found a coach that is worth a playoff win, in my opinion, on their path. This Broncos team, be afraid. Be afraid. They're not afraid to take the deep shot. Their defense shows up. And Vance Joseph versus Steve Spagnuolo, in which I took the under in this game, ended up being exactly what we got, a defensive slaughterfest. We have found out and figured out now that Cortland Sutton is somebody's name who everybody in the league should just be keeping an eye on, because he's developed as an elite third down weapon for that Broncos team. But they finally found a winning recipe. They have a coach that has instilled winning habits, and it wasn't too far removed from a year in which all the one-loss games or one-score games were losses. And he said it back then that this is the way the NFL is. And now he's developed a team in which they have the confidence to still stay in games, bro. I thought it was impressive. And I'm worried about the Chiefs being able to win the division. I'm pretty sure it's out of their hands now. Even if they win out, they have to have a lot of losses coming by way of the Broncos shitting the bed against really weak teams that they have coming up. That was my thoughts. They got outplayed at the most crucial moments. What about you?
I agree with most of that. When Kelsey scored that touchdown to go up, I thought, okay, they know that they're going to have to throw the ball, Spagnuolo, dial it up on a young quarterback. I get it. But no, man, they came back. Look, I'm not a Bo Nix guy, but, man, this dude knows how to perform in the fourth quarter. This year, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. On the year, Bo Nix has 18 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and also on the ground, he has 3 touchdowns. And, yeah, for the first 3 quarters, sometimes you're like, fuck, this guy's going to get 250, 300 million. It's going to be rough for the team. But then in the fourth quarter, man, he has 5 game-winning comebacks in the fourth quarter. And this one was impressive. The one against Philly was impressive. Look, Denver's 9-2, and I got to say, they should be 9-2, right? Because they shouldn't have won that Giants game. They shouldn't have lost that Colts game. To this day, right now, we've talked about it many times. The worst call of the year was the leverage call against the Indianapolis Colts. That and the pass interference between the Rams and the Saints in that NFC title game. I think it's in modern NFL history, at least for me, it's the 2 worst calls I've seen. Like, the leverage call is so fucking stupid. I don't understand it. So Denver should be 9-2, right? Like, there's a lot of teams, like, I would say the Rams, they shouldn't be 8-2. I think they should be undefeated. So there's certain games that go one way or go the other way. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, 11-0 in one-score games. George, what are they this year?
0-5?
0-5. Last year, 11-0. Now 0-5. What have I been telling everyone that listens to this show for, I don't know, a decade now that I've been doing the show? Record in one-score games, you cannot expect that to be the norm for you year in, year out. You see it all the time. Look at the Chiefs. Look at Minnesota 2 years ago, 11-0 in one-score games. Then last year, not so much. Well, not last year. This
2 years before.
2 years before that, before Sam Darnold, like the last Kirk Cousins year. This is what happens, bro. The New York Giants with Daniel Jones in 2022, same thing. Them and the Vikings, when they played each other in that playoff game, it's like, bro, both of these teams are like undefeated in one-score games. So year in, year out, you're not going to see that, and that's what's happening with Kansas City. The ball doesn't bounce your way. That tip pass interception that you got last year, well, this year you're not getting it. This year they're calling defensive pass interference on you, where last year you did the same exact play. If you're a corner, if you're McDuffie, you didn't get called on it last year. Well, this year you got called on it. I'm just using an example. This is what happens. I think one of the more concerning things is Pat Mahomes this year has a couple of interceptions inside the red zone that are very un-Mahomes-like.
Agreed.
And even yesterday, too. The Jaguars game on Monday Night Football threw a pick 6 to Devin Lloyd. Something about him, and like, offensive line is better. You have your weapons, like Rashid Rice is back, too.
When you look at some of the sacks that he took on third downs and fourth downs, they were him not trusting his first initial instinct, and those are what the game came down to. And when you go back and you watch them, the Broncos just drew up a picture-perfect game plan. He was reckless on that one interception rolling out to his right, but at the same time, if that DB doesn't get a hand on that, you're probably getting the ball on the 2-yard line and scoring a touchdown a play later. It's the give and take with Pat Mahomes. People are saying that he spent the bye week getting hammered at the Texas Tech game. A lot of people are speculating that this is not what he should be doing given the circumstance that his team is in right now. They need to win out. I believe that this team can win out. The sports books believe that this team could win out, given the fact that they're 3-point favorites against what people are saying is the buzzsaw in the AFC with the Indianapolis Colts. That was a very surprising line that I saw as of this morning, but it goes to show how much they believe in the Chiefs, and it's another situation. You know how scary the Chiefs would be, Nick, winning out the rest of these games going into the playoffs? So if any week to bet the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, you're going to get your best value this week. Because with each win, if they have the opportunity, they would be in the top 3 odds to win the Super Bowl if the playoffs started. Winning out.
Can I disagree with you?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, there's something. So if you look at the Super Bowl odds right now, right? Eagles, Rams, Bills, Chiefs. They might not make the playoffs, bro. Look at their schedule.
It's tough.
They got home Colts coming off a bye. They go to Dallas on Thanksgiving. They play the Texans in Kansas City, the Chargers in Kansas City. They go to the Titans, home to Denver, at Vegas. Can they win out? Yeah, absolutely they can win out. All the tough games are at home. But they're priced off name value only. Like, I look at Denver being 15-1 and being like, yo, bro, they're probably going to get the 1 seed. It's going to go through Denver. And I know in division, maybe that's why. But, man, to your point, you don't even got to – you got to pull the trigger now because it's only going to get worse. If they're already second – they're tied with the Bills at the one book I'm looking at right now as the Super Bowl favorite out of the AFC. So, I don't know, though, man. There's just something about them that is just – it just feels off. It feels off. Look, they're 1-4 on the road, so they're going to have to go on the road in the playoffs. They're getting penalized a lot, too. 10 penalties by the Chiefs. 6 to the offensive line. And in the past, they used to be a team like – that's what they mean, like, yo, this team is undisciplined. They basically talk about penalties. And they're just not that right now. Yeah. And then on the flip side, like, look, Denver's doing this defensively. They shut them down when they needed to, and they still don't got Patrick Surtain. That's massive, bro. That's really massive.
They sent the dogs.
Yeah.
They were blitzing, I believe it was 40% of the time. No. Okay, the Broncos blitzed Patrick Mahomes 14 times in week 11, generating 7 pressures and recording 3 sacks. They modified the strategy at halftime, blitzing 4 times in the first half compared to 10 times in the second half. And you saw it on big time third downs. Andy Reid was also calling such deep routes that you would look at the frame and you'd be like, well, where the hell did you want Patrick Mahomes to go with this? Now, I do think that Andy Reid, Sean Payton Part II in Arrowhead with all the chips on the line, I know where my bet's being placed.
Yeah.
Because Bo Nix was all game, but throwing the ball deep. Once that gets clicking, those are the explosive plays that you need to get you in position. And, I can't wait to see version 2 of this. Didn't necessarily feel like the Chiefs lost that game. They haven't really lost any of their games. They've always been in it. It's just not falling their way this year, but that's fine. I would rather it fall my way at the end of the year.
Well, look, they're 5-5,
due.
and all their losses are by 1 score. To your point,
They're due.
yeah.
And I'd want them due when the money will be made in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was a great game.